If you've not lost anybody because of the person being sick and refused to go to hospital because of their so-called faith in whatever their pastor or their priest has actually sold to them, then you would not understand the pain behind this tweet. Now, this tweet is just one of the people that actually come out and tell people, look at what is actually going on in the world. But if we have to have like a census, or we have to basically do a qualitative research to find out people who have died or passed on because they had utter faith in their pastors and beliefs that they can be cured miraculously by whatever the priest or the pastor is being given to them, that would actually have or see a high increase of mortality as a result of religious beliefs. This Twitter user actually tweeted, and she said, "My aunt was discouraged from seeking medical attention for months by her church leader, and she was so sick. He would go and put anointing oil on her at home, where she was bedridden. She was very close to my mom, and we always used to be at her house. She avoided my mom for the time being." Now, what these people actually do here is they will first of all alienate you from people that actually care about you. Your family members, your husband, your wife. They'll also spoil your mind against them, making you to see them as your enemies. Especially if those kinds of people are telling you to stop going to that particular kind of church, stop going to meet this person, let me take you to the hospital, let's have a test, let's run this diagnosis, let's know what is even happening to you. If you, as the person that is sick, reports this things that people are telling you back to this religious leader, the person is going to spoil your mind and alienate you from your family members until it's definitely late. Let's continue reading. She said here, until my mom literally kicked down her door one day. She found my aunt barely conscious and called the ambulance. It was a very aggressive breast cancer. She died within a year. She went into remission but came back. She suffered so much, and my 10-year-old cousin lost her mom. I think churches and these faith preachings are so dangerous. I really do. For that church leader to be going to the house and seeing my aunt in that condition and rubbing oil on her life was a mere experiment for him, and he didn't give a beep. She also said here, I forgot to mention the discouragement she got from seeking medical attention was in the form of a spiritual or prophetic message, an instruction that she must not go to any hospital or seek any doctor. God, what is actually happening? So I won't start to be condescending by saying, do people actually listen to pastors and priests and religious figures in this modern day? Because people actually do. It's as if when you're actually in need of something, when you really you're desperate for some kind of a miraculous healing, it kinds of makes you to forget every logical thoughts that you should actually have, and within you know that what this person is telling you is false. You're not actually buying the story, and on a very good day you cannot even buy the story that this person is telling you. But because of you being frustrated and you're desperate, especially if you have kids, and at that point you're basically thinking about your kids, how would their welfare be, how would they survive? So desperation kicks in, and most times it kind of makes you not to have any logical thoughts. It makes you not to think logically again. So this is where they actually get you, because they know you're desperate and they know your frustration. So they try to experiment on you in the sense that if it works, she will come. If it doesn't work, well, I don't know if there is anybody that has actually been prosecuted because of them administering oil in the name as against adequate medical care. So even in ordinary, we have elements of people that actually do stuff like this, but the belief that there is this cosmic forces, your chi or your familiar or ancestral spirits are there to basically magically heal you or magically save you when you're ill. So it's these kinds of things, it cuts across every single religion. because people are always desperate to actually believe things, believe in the supernatural. Then us believing in the supernatural is not bad, it's not evil, it's not illogical. But we also have to understand that those supernatural forces that we believe or that we want them to do things for us have actually done things for us. They have actually kind of projected our lives and made it to be in such a way that we do not need to constantly seek their face on issues that we can actually solve by ourselves. For instance, in Igbo, we believe in the concept of Awu, and if by the definition of Awu becomes a person's akonuche, a person's intellectual or cognitive ability. So everything surrounding Awu is focused on you using your God-given brains, your God-given mind to actually fix up things and bring out things or develop things that your society and you is going to benefit from. Now, if in situations where a person is sick and you're kind of person, you believe in traditional healers, I'm not talking about traditional prayer houses, I'm talking about traditional healers. Now, this is the right way to do it, because those herbs have been, they will tell you that in those days of our ancestors, that what they used to basically take care of themselves and they are sick were the same herbs. Now, if you believe in the use of herbs, if you use herbs, you also understand that these herbs actually works. So we do not believe that there is any hocus pocus, any magical liquid that is going to make you to get yourself. Even the chief priest that I've actually come across actually goes to another chief priest to even collect herbs from him and drink it. Now, this is a person that has a direct communication with the deity, but this person actually knows that you will have to first of all take care of yourself physically, then the spirits will now contribute and help you the way that they know that they can. So believe it or not, us believing in religious institutions, believing that there is some kind of miraculous miracle that is going to happen in a church is actually setting us up for failure. It's setting us up for death. It's setting us up for things that I don't know. And I hope we don't pass these things down to the next generation. You basically teach the next generation that if you need something to be done, you have to do it yourself. If you need a good medical institution, you have to do it yourself. Even if that medical institution comes from, a cultural or a traditional house. Because I believe in traditional midwives, and I know that they actually know what they are doing, because there are instances, most of us here that our generation or our parents or our mothers, or that for the mere fact that we exist is because our parents or our mothers gave birth in some of these traditional homes. So I'm not going to, utterly, say that traditional homes don't actually work or traditional herbs don't actually work, because it actually helps and actually saves life. So what I'm trying to say with this post in essence is that, first of all, faith comes when you've actually applied yourself. You've actually applied the knowledge that God or your spiritual forces have actually endowed you with. Now, faith can come later. But first of all, you have to strive, try to work things out yourself, personally, with your hands, with your mind, with everything that God has given to you, before you can now depend on these cosmic forces. Their own jobs is to help, is to aid, and not necessarily to replace your cognitive ability, your cognitive sense, or you being logical, you being able to achieve or do things by yourself. So until next time, follow this page if